I'm an implementation manager at Odoo San Francisco office. My team is responsible for implementing Odoo for all size and all shapes of businesses that is there in the wild. We do create a tailored solution for any given requirement. Today I'll be presenting a data cleaning app that is introduced in version 14, brand new. It's a brand new app. That app will help you in your data cleaning and setting up your data correct, and it will also help you with ongoing data cleaning and help you with the data aging problem, which is a long time problem that everybody probably is aware. So let's get started. So of course the data cleaning app. So let's get started. What is data, right? Data is a collection of a fact. It really helps you understand business, customers. It helps growth. It helps understand growth. It helps high quality data will give you success factors, help you in deciding strategies for business, and in a simple word, data is a lifeblood of the business, as you could see on the slide, right? Data represents the fact information about organization, how we are doing. We can take data and we can show how we are performing, and we can get all the fact data about business, right? So what is data cleaning? Now we understand that data is a lifeblood, data is important for the business. So what is a data cleaning? So, and why should we worry about data cleaning, right? Why is it so important? So data cleaning or data cleansing, I mean, this word is interchangeably used across internet, so you can use those words interchangeably. Data cleaning or data cleansing is a process of detecting and fixing or removing the incorrect, incomplete, duplicate data from the data set, from the database, tables, or wherever you are storing. So it's a simple process of removing a bad or incomplete or irrelevant data from your database, from your data sets, so you could use that data in the future, and you can use those data as a correct data. In the other words, data cleaning is a process to ensure that the data is correct, it's consistent, it's usable, and it's accurate. Although sometimes, sometimes this is thought as a boring process, data cleaning is very important, valuable in improving the efficiency of the result, right? If your data is not correct, if its data is inaccurate, then your results, whatever results that you're trying to derive from that data, will be inaccurate. So it's very important that we should focus on data cleaning, and we should be making sure our data is correct, accurate, and giving us the result that we are expecting, and not running into wrong results. Next. Process of this is a definition that we just saw. It's a process of detecting, fixing, and removing the data incorrectly formatted, duplicated, inaccurate, incomplete. That's data cleaning, right? This is very interesting fact that I was reading through it, and when I read this number, I was very much surprised. This is something that I read few months ago, and when I read this and when I saw that we have a new app, and I found it so relevant that we should be talking about this, and it will show why is it important. Why is it so much important, right? So according to the survey done by Experian, most company believes that 29% of their data is defective. You can imagine, data is your lifeblood, and if 29% of your data is defective, that can be a problem. On top of that, enterprises data set also support from data decaying, right? Data decaying is also a problem, because as your business grows, as your customers changes, as you go into different areas, you experiment, your data will decay, right? It will decay in a quality at alarming rate. For example, B2B customers suffers from data decaying at the rate of at least 30% as per year, and as high as 70%. So if as high as 70% for the companies who has high turnover, right? So why high turnover companies suffers from data decaying? Because this companies has a lot of data moving very fast. They have a lot of customers, suppliers, which changes with the time very fast, and their data decays very fast. As soon as they get more data, more customers, more suppliers, the old data will become irrelevant, and they suffer from data decay. So as you could see on the screen, that the 29% of the data is can be defective for a given organization, and for a large organization, for B2B, they may suffer from data decaying from 30 to 70%, and that is why data cleaning is important. Now, the real question is how we should do data cleaning, right? We know what is data, we know why we need to clean your data because of X, Y, and Z factor that we understood, that there is a 29% chances that your data is inaccurate, it's irrelevant, then 30 to 70% chances that your data is suffering from data decaying depending on what company, what is your growth. So how do we do data cleaning? So it's basically a new app that got introduced in Odoo, which is data cleaning, and that app does allow us it provides us a different technique that we could use to clean our data, and it helps us into making our data correct. The new app introduces two different techniques, which is a data fill cleaning and data deduplication. So there are two new strategies which got introduced in version 14, and that helps into dealing with the data. I mean, data problem is very, very complex. It's a long-term problem. Data cleaning is not a simple thing that can happen in just one click. You can imagine that a lot of professionals who is in the business service implementation spends a lot of time during implementation making sure the data is accurate, data is clean, and data is up to the mark. So it is very important your data is clean, and it is very important that enough time is spent on this. It's simple, because otherwise your results, business, and everything will come out inaccurate. And that's why professionals do spend a lot of time to guarantee that your data is clean and data is accurate. And this tool is to help professionals with that how can they automate this process. This app will also allow you automation of data cleaning. So that is also one of the feature in the app. All right, so let's get started. Let's move forward, and let's look at the data fill cleaning strategy first. This will require setting of cleaning rules. So each strategy that we just discussed, which is fill cleaning and deduplication, requires you to set up rules, and those rules will help you with doing different things. And what are those rules allow you to do, right? That's what we will check next. So usually the rules allows the actions that you could see on the subtitle over there, which is a trim spaces, set type case, format font, script HTML. So these are the actions which allowed it onto data fill cleaning, and these are the action which we will discuss in detail, and also show you some examples how it works and so on. All right, so here's a screenshot that you could see on the screen, which shows a different rule, right? It's the first rule where you can define a fill cleaning rule. In the fill cleaning rules, there's a rules field one to many underneath there, and where you see the green icon, which is highlighting the pop-up box, which is a record, which is indicating a specific rule, which is trimming the spaces from the texts. So every time the text data is entered in the system, it is very well possible that user may copy paste this data from somewhere, right? So we want to make sure that data is trimmed and there is no problem with the text, it's clean. So trim spaces, right, for example. Here's all 4 different actions on the screen that you could see that is allowed it. All 4 different actions is trim spaces. Trim spaces will remove all the spaces. Trim spaces allows us 2 different sub actions, as you could see, all spaces and superfluous action spaces, which basically removes the space in between and remove or trim spaces at the end only. Then set type case. Do you want to change it to uppercase? Do you want to change it to lowercase? Do you want to change to the title case? It's all options are there in a next action, which is set type case. Next, the third action is a format phone. Of course, the phone numbers are the pain. Everybody knows internationally when you're working with a multiple organization, when you have multinational business, a phone number can be really painful to format because people have a different format. Sometimes they will give you extensions, sometimes they do not give you extensions. Some of the countries has a different spacing and command. for the phone, where other countries has a different format, and it's a painful process. Where this action here simplifies that for you. It uses an international phone number schema, and it formats all the number into international phone number schema, and it adds extension and everything for you. I mean, when I say extension, I mean the country extension, not the phone extension. For example, +1 for United States, and so on and so forth. Action, scrape HTML. If you are getting an HTML data from somewhere from the internet, and if you wish to scrape HTML data, you can scrape your HTML data using this tool, which basically removes all the HTML and it just leaves you with a plain text, which is a container of an HTML. Scraping HTML is actually, if you have never heard, if you never used, then it's a technique. It's a very popular technique. Actually, people do scrape data to get information from other websites where you don't have API and things like that. For example, on the Amazon, if you wish to get what is an average rating for this product, right? If you had a ASNI, you can scrape the Amazon product page by requesting the page, and you can get average rating and so on and so forth. So it's just a technique that you could use. So scraping HTML is also a thing, and you could use that. So here's a screen that shows how field cleaning works. This shows records with the possible rules applied, and things can happen, right? So let's do one thing. Let's make a demo of this application, and let me try to show you how this application works and what are the things that you could do. All right. So to begin with, so here's an V14. It's a brand new app that you could see here. So once you can go to apps and search for data cleaning. You will get a data cleaning app. You install that app. Installing that app will get you this icon, which is data cleaning icon. With the data cleaning, once you open, you will see the data deduplication and field cleaning. The field cleaning is what we are looking at right now. Now let's look at the field cleaning rules. So this is a field cleaning rules, and by default we already have one sample record which is created out of the box, which is the most common one. For example, a name should not have extra spaces at the end, at the beginning. Email should not have any spaces at all, so it's remove all spaces. Text ID, again, text ID should not have any spaces. A text field should be extremely clean and should have no spaces in between, at the end, nowhere. It should be a straight number that you could use. So the text ID. Phone, formatting the phone, as I said, it can be problematic, and you can format the phone. Mobile, similar to phone, you can also format the mobile. So this is out of the box record that is already created for you, which you can use yourself. But let me explain you the screen, and that way you can have an idea how to work with this, right? So let's create a field cleaning rule for CRM emails, right? In a CRM, I want to make sure that email do not have any spaces. And I also want to make sure all the emails in my system should be lowercase. So let's say leads email cleaning. Object for here is leads. Leads opportunity. You can also type in technical name here, crm.lead, and it's a faster way to reach there. Right, crm.lead. Now, as you could see, there is a two modes over there, which is a manual and automatic, right? So what is manual and automatic? When it's a manual mode, user is required to manually go through every record and approve and reject the changes that is proposed by the rules that we will define underneath. So user is required to manually scroll through every single option. Whereas automatic will automatically do this thing overnight. Whenever you run your scheduled action, it will finish that, it will clean the record, and it will give you the clean record. So let me add a rule. So here I want to make an email field clean. So let's say email, trim the spaces, email, and say I want to set typecase or lowercase, done. And in the name of the lead, or which is usually a subject of record, which is a name, should not have any space or should be set into the first letter uppercase, right? So as you could see, we have a field cleaning rule, and let's try to see this in an action, right? So CRM, and let me try to import some leads. I have scraped some records for you to show you. Import records. So I will load a file. I have some 500 record which I'm going to import. It will take, it's with the new API in previous version, everything is super fast, blazing. You have all the 500 records imported right there, and these are the records that we just imported. So let's try and see. As you could see in this email, there is uppercase, right? And we have a rule that specifically says that remove uppercase, right? So let's try to run the rule and see what it does, right? So let's go to data cleaning, and let's go to field cleaning, and let's go to email, lead email cleaning, and hit email clean. When you hit clean, sorry, it is automatic, so it will not run right now. I'll do manual. So when I say clean, as you could see, it says there is nothing as such for now to clean. But let's say, let me try to add certain things. For example, that right, and there is one record right there. It says try to remove the spaces, because we say that remove spaces is our rule. So in one of our rules says trim all the spaces. So now whenever I say clean, it says there's one record which needs an action. It's proposing the change right there, right? It says what is the current value, what is the suggested value. As you could see, it's a current value, suggested value. You could add more field, which rule and what action we want to apply. So it says that on an email, trim spaces, current value is this, suggested value is this. You can approve, and done. Your field data is clean. And whenever you will go back here, whenever you will refresh, and you will see your data is clean, right? So as you could see, this is extremely powerful feature that got introduced. It removes, it cleans the record for you in matter of seconds. And of course, we did manually. You can also do automatic. If you had a multiple rule, then you will see multiple cleaning rules appearing onto your left pane. You can select certain rule, and then after selecting a certain rule, you can scroll through each record. So you can either check all the records and approve and reject one by one, or you can go through one rule at a time. It's your choice, right? So that is demo for data cleaning. Now data deduplication. So data deduplication is very similar to data cleaning. The deduplication is also a problem, because it is common that businesses get their data from different sources. So for example, if I am running a lead campaign, probably my campaign might be running on a LinkedIn, might be on a Facebook, might be on a Google AdWord. Using all these different sources, you may bring all this data and you will funnel all this data into one place, into the leads, right? You have all the data sitting into one specific location. Now there is a chances of duplicates. There is a chances that data coming from different sources is very similar, and going through them one by one can be extremely painful. So for that, we have data deduplication application, which allows removal of duplicate data. Very similar to data field cleaning rules, there is a deduplication rule, and the deduplication rule also allows us different actions, and it allows defining a different rules, right? For example, deduplication allows you record filtering, record archiving, record deleting. It also allows you the fuzzy approximate matching. It also, let's say if 50% of the rule matches, then do this. If 50% of the rule doesn't match, then leave it. So you can also do the fuzzy approximation threshold for making sure that you are not over removing, or you are making sure you are only removing the data which is possibly highly duplicate. So here's the data deduplication rule screen. In a data deduplication screen, I'll show with the demo and everything. It's just the screen interface to give you an idea how does it look like. And this is what it looked like after you trigger a deduplication. You can have multiple rules, as you could see on the screen. On my screenshot, I have 3 deduplication rule on a contact, country, country state, and lead and opportunity. And different rule shows a different duplicate record and says how much similarity that is there. For example, one of the record has a 92% similarity, other record says 62% similarity. So there could be high similarity and low similarity. So which we'll see with the demo. Let's look at the data deduplication demo. Very similar to field cleaning rules, there is a deduplication rule. For deduplication, as you could see on the screen, there is already some data record we have created, which is the most common objects that are used across industries. So these are the rules that are created for the most common object, but you can introduce more rules as you wish. These are some sample rules, but let me try and show you the lead one, right? In a lead, it says if a contact name. So let's say before we see the deduplication rule, let's try to see the main interface. So to give you an idea how it is and what each field means. So it's very similar to field cleaning. Now you have to pick a model, on which model you want to clean the data. Next is a domain. Domain is a way of filtering a data. You can filter your data using a domain, and domain will let you do that. So domain, where you can write and filter condition. For example, on the lead, I only want to pick a lead which I created on is greater than equal to. For example, I only want to see a record which is created few minutes ago. So for example, let me try to pick a time here, right? So it says that only pick a record that is created after this date. Do not pick a record which is created after this, before this date, right? So you could, if you want to, for example, in a data decaying problem, if there is a record which is last write date is 2 years ago, right? A record is not modified in the last 2 years and you want to archive. So for example, here I could have a condition that write date, a last updated on, is less than equal to, for example, I want to say that if a record is modified in 2018 December 31st, right? So here's the one condition. For example, any record that is modified not modified in last 2 years, we want to archive them. So you can do that by putting filter condition. You can pick any field from that object. Again, merge mode, very similar to data cleaning. There is a merge mode, manual and automatic. Do you want to do automatic or do you want to do manually? It's done right there. And if it's a manual, then it notifies user that you have to, because in the manual, as we see, that user has to go there and approve or reject the change that is happening. So this will notify certain user that is responsible for making sure your data is clean, right? So the notify user is for that purpose, that responsible user is getting notification that, hey, you have data to deduplicate data and which requires your action. Do you want to take action? So this will remind user, specific user or users every 1 week or every interval of every day, every week or every month. And here is a rule. For example, here you can pick a field and then you can pick a condition. Do you want to take merge if it's exact match, or it's otherwise, even if it's not exact match, it's okay. But it's good idea to add a more deduplication rule, because more deduplication rules help you create a possibility. So you can use that possibility here. So let me remove this condition because it wouldn't make any sense in my demo data. Let me try to run the duplication rule. And as you could see on the screen, it's proposing me that on the lead, there is a multiple possibilities. Similar to lead, there could be many other contacts. So for example, on a contact, give me deduplication. There is nothing on the contact. On a tags, search for deduplication. There is nothing on a deduplication. So whereas on a different object, there might be a different field rules, and rule may work for one object, may not work for another object. So let's go back to our opportunity rule, go back to duplicates, and here's the duplicate. And as you could see in the duplicates, there's a possibility. The least similar object is with a 52%, while the highest possible object is 92%. And now user has a very easy decision to make. Okay, I have two records, which one I want to keep and which one I want to merge or I want to archive, right? And also if you observe the last column here, which says is master, so you can also pick which record will be a master record and which record will be the one that is either deleted or either archived. So you can pick the master, and their database ID is also given for easy decision making if that helps, right? So now all user have to say is merge, and says, are you sure, do you want to do this? And yes, and done. For 52% says no, I'm not convinced by this, you can say discard, and your action is done. So deduplication, again, very similar, very simple. You define your filter, you define is it manual or automatic, and then you define your duplication removal, because you can also archive record, which is a soft delete feature. You can archive or you delete the record. And then pick the fields on which you want to search deduplication, and that's all, your job is done. So this is deduplication. Now next, automated data cleaning. So as we saw right now, whatever feature I just showed you, everything is manual. User has to go there, user has to click on it, and user has to make sure that that action is taken. Now if you do not want to do that, and if you want to depend on the system by defining a high accuracy threshold, because for example in a data deduplication rule, when it's automatic, in case of automatic, you can also define what is your similarity threshold and suggestion threshold. So you can define a threshold for which record will be automatically reconciled depending on what is their merge threshold. So you can say automatic, save, and in the system there is a scheduled action menu which is settings technical automation, and then there is a for data cleaning. There is data merge and data cleaning vacuum, which is right there, and this vacuum, as of now, as you see, it runs every day, and it will every day at defined interval, which is 18:30 in the evening. It will just make sure the data is clean and everything is good. If you are pulling your data, let's say at every day 1 a.m. you are pulling your data from the Facebook, and you want to clean your data before it gets to the user, maybe at the 2 a.m. you can run this action that whatever data that you have coming from Facebook pixel or Facebook leads will get clean, for example. So this will definitely help you in data cleaning. As we saw that data is a lifeblood, data cleaning, data suffers from data decaying and data inaccuracy, and that's why data cleaning is very important. And so does this app aims to aid that age-old problem. It tries to automate some part of it. For example, for an organization which is very small, where you do not have enough people who can be invested towards data cleaning, this app can be very useful. This app can help you with automation of everything. Right, so data cleaning is your app that will help you with that. This is the rules that I said, which is data merge and data clean, data fill cleaning. So yeah, that was a data cleaning app. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for listening to me. We are hoping that this app will help you into cleaning your data, in making sure your data is correct, make sure your data accuracy is higher, and make sure the data that is used to produce analytics are correct. So thank you all again for being here, listening to the presentation. Your questions now will be answered. Thank you.